He's being live streamed. Setting up. It's trying to do something.
We'll see what happens.
Done redirecting. Video unavailable. That's fine. Video is unavailable. This video is private.
Webinar is now streaming live on YouTube.
Is it? How do we know?
It's test. Test.
Like a 30-second delay, so it can take 30 seconds for you to do that. And I don't know how much power you have.
It was plugged in at my office. It should be good.
All right, folks, we are working through some technical difficulties. So hopefully, if you've been waiting, hopefully you're able to hear us now, and we may experience more technical difficulties as the night goes on, but we're gonna manage as best we can. So I think what I'd like to do is go ahead and call us to order and take a roll call since all 5 of us are here. So I call the meeting for October 5th, 2023. That's supposed to start at 6:30 p.m., although we are a little behind to order. Let's go ahead and establish our quorum through a roll call. And not any particular order, but maybe starting at the right. Mrs. Reward.
Here.
Ms. Helland.
Here.
The chair is here. Tim Geithner. Mrs. Swenson.
Yep.
And Mr. Johnson.
Here.
All right, so we have all 5 members currently with us. Bear with me 1 second. Is that? Yeah, I don't know that because that's not connected to anything. Okay, so we have our quorum. Let's go ahead and initiate with our Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Johnson, if you could lead us in our pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll go ahead and I'll read our mission and vision. Our mission: Liberty Tree Academy prepares students through a traditional, content-rich education and disciplined and orderly environment to be self-governing citizens who are equipped to carry out the vision of our nation's founders to preserve and perpetuate liberty. Our vision: Liberty Tree Academy is dedicated to an authentic traditional American education, to be a community that actively cultivates character in a challenging and engaging learning environment. Agenda, before I move or before I seek a motion to approve the agenda, I do need to make one addition and one subtraction.
Mhm.
Let's go with the subtraction first, and that is under action items, item number 12. Adoption of previous meeting minutes. We do not have those finalized yet. So I'd like to delete those from the agenda. And then under,
We should do the audit.
no, there's no approval for the audit.
Okay, but do we have to put that on?
Nope,
Okay.
we do not. And I think we're gonna save that for next board meeting.
Okay.
Anyways, and then finally, there was something else, board discussion, election, that's what it is. Under, let's do under candidate and board elections, we have number 9, then we have 10, which is board discussion. Let's do a 9 delta. And that 9 delta will be dates. And Mr. Manley, I'm gonna look to you for dates under which we could potentially use LTA, at least the lobby. You don't need anything fancy. Where our candidates that are gonna present to us tonight, if they wanna be here, they can be here where parents can stop by. And we can have that discussion item when we get there, but
10,
Five.
90.
we have 10D. Yeah, 10D, that's fine. Let's do 10D. So let's add it to 10D and we're just gonna do dates for candidate meet and greets. Does that work? Okay. So I'll move a motion. I move that we make an addition to item number 10, sub letter D, which would be candidate meet and greets. And further that we amend item number 12 to strike item B, which is adoption of meeting minutes. Can I have a second? Very good. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Is there any opposition? Seeing no opposition, we have an adopted agenda. And let's move on to item number 6, which is our founding father quote. How little do my countrymen know what precious blessings they are in possession of, and which no other people on earth enjoy. Thomas Jefferson. And we are now with board member reports. Board member reports is our opportunity to kind of add anything that we've done since last we met as board members in our official capacities. So at this point, I will open it up to members. I'll probably mention the fact that we did our board training, but
That's what I was gonna mention, so.
feel free, Mrs. Helen,
Well, you were there.
go ahead.
I did it hours later.
You did. So the board did do board training. There were 4 of us of our members online. We got to hear from X8 Global. X8 Global is of course a contractor to LTA that greatly assists LTA and a lot of the things that we do here. Eric did a phenomenal job. And then we also heard from Dustin, who's our attorney. He went over some of the more kind of technical nuances of what it means to be a board. That training was recorded. And we did it via Zoom, and obviously Mrs. Helen was not able to join us. I think you were flying at the time. No, I think you were at a funeral,
I was at a funeral.
but you were been able to watch that.
Yes.
We were together, I think from about 9 to 12, 15, 12:30. But it was pretty good training. The beauty of having it recorded is that whoever wins our election can sit through 3.5 hours of some of that training because it was very informative and stuff that we definitely need to know in our formal capacity. So that instrument will be there for whoever those victorious electors are and those who will join the board. That's the only report I have. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add.
I just continue to plug away from the modules, but about it.
Got it. Anyone else? Good. All right, moving on. We're now on item number 8, which is principal report. Mr. Manley, I can take that computer and I can spin it around and put it here. Or
Or you can just talk.
you can just talk and it should hear you.
We'll just do that.
Okay, very good.
Although we didn't think about that later, maybe we need to,
We probably will have to do that.
Yeah, probably.
just go through a few things, here and, I might skip around a little bit. I'll try to stick to the ABC here. So, facilities wise, weather permitting, we have an exciting improvement to our playground coming up. I'm gonna tease it that way, and hope that the weather holds out, but, after fall break, hopefully people will come back to, some improvements there that we've been looking forward to for actually quite a while. In addition, we have solicited some bids for repainting lines around the school, like our crosswalks and parking spaces, arrows and things like that to help with car line confusion. So we hope to be getting that done in short order. We've also been looking at some improvements to some of our door security with just card access in and out of the building. And then Tim Kistler has been helping us kind of evaluate all of our safety and security procedures like fire drills and things like that. You'll be happy to know that our September fire drill was faster than our August fire drill. So working on getting that down to 0. So there's that. Parent teacher conferences will be October 16th and 17th coming up here just before we break for fall break, and signups for those opportunities are ongoing, and I'll keep being posted here over the next week or so. We've had a lot of face-to-face meetings with parents already, which has been great. I think the more we can get people in here, the better to support their kids. So that's been really good. And a special thanks to Mr. Trickett, who's been lending his special talents to rehabbing some of the stonework around our building, which has come off the walls in places. That's been cool. So thanks to him. We initiated some leadership training for several of our administration this past month. We'll be doing monthly meetings. X8 is providing that service. It's based on a set of national standards for administration. It was really good initial meeting. I think people enjoyed the opportunity to collaborate and get educated. So we're kind of going to do that throughout the year. I have another one coming up here in October. Kudos to several of our teachers who took advantage of Donors Choose. If you're not familiar with that, it's an opportunity for teachers to propose projects to be funded online. And Ms. Dronenberg, Ms. Haynes, Ms. Kaiser, Ms. Barrett, Laser, and Holtkamp, and I'm probably missing some others, actually invested some of their own personal time into pushing some of those projects and have gotten things funded. We have everything from math manipulatives to skeletons in some of our rooms now. So it's been fun getting those things, but also thanks to them for putting in the extra effort to take advantage of those funds. Also, I think just a thanks to a lot of our supportive administration, like Ms. Trainer, our instructional coach, our department chairs and team leads downstairs, our assistant principals, and our SPED department for all their efforts to just bring our teachers along and get them aligned, educated, to share training and experience. They have pushed into classrooms a ton. And I think by and large, that's going really well, and appreciate all the staff being willing to collaborate and receive feedback as we've started off the year. The enrollment window finished up this week on Monday. So we are now outside of enrollment. We will continue to take students as long as we have space. We feel like we have something special to share here. And even if we aren't getting funded anymore this year by the state, we will continue to let kids come in, and hopes that they'll appreciate what we're doing and the way we do it and stick around for next year. So we've actually had quite a few families. You guys have received some numbers, I think, who have already returned after disenrolling last year. So we find that encouraging too, that people have visited other schools in the area and found that they think LTA would still be the place for them. So you also got some testing data that I can highlight a little bit. We've got some things from last year. The school spent a lot of time this first quarter putting together our improvement plan and some other reports for the district and the state. Performance is the highest overall category attainable in those CMAS results, and LTA has been rated at that level every year that we've received a rating, and that continued this year. High school had the highest overall rating, this time at 66.4% of the points available, followed by the middle school and then the elementary, with the first two still existing at performance, which is that highest rating, and then elementary at the improvement level. Our English and language arts continues to kind of be a little bit higher than our math, which is both kind of credit to our teachers, but also an opportunity for us to continue to grow in math and kind of bring those both up. One is always going to be higher than the other, likely, but we're doing a good job, especially in English language arts. One thing that I would note, so that's kind of on record and it's on your minds is recently schools have been held harmless in terms of the participation rate on these tests. So we have the opportunity to opt out. Students, families can do that. We anticipate that exception is going to go away. So the level of participation would start to impact our performance rating. So if we can't get enough families to have their kids participating at CMAS, then that would start to fold into the formula that creates what level we're at.
Do
If
we
didn't,
know what our opt-out percentage was last year?
I don't have that in front of me. It wasn't, we would have been below the participation rate,
Right.
which is 95%. So it's really high anyway, but we would have been below that.
Do we, who makes that decision? Is that
Parents.
state? No, not the opt-out, the ability to have that option. Is that the state or is that
The
D49? Okay. So when you say that we're expecting that maybe that provision may go away, so we're expecting legislation that may make an impact on that option currently.
We believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it could be a year down the road, like
Sure.
that, but yeah. And so automatically by not hitting that participation level, you would drop a level,
Sure.
regardless of your performance on the test.
Got it.
Couple more items. We have enjoyed some good collaboration with Hillsdale. They helped provide some training before the year started with our lower school literacy, but we've also been collaborating on some resources for our upper school teachers, especially in regards to delivering some seminar style content. So we've enjoyed that and are, I think, reestablishing a good relationship with some people there who will pick up the phone and answer some emails. So that's been encouraging. And I'll tease another thing that we are excited to be creating what we think will be a really cool tradition here that we're going to call something in the vein of Christmas Trees of the World exhibit. Our seniors met with a sculpture and garden in Michigan who has been doing this for decades and decades today. They do something like 45 or 50 trees that they decorate and like tens of thousands of people come through and see this. So we got to see somebody who's doing it. We're just going to do two. We put them in our lobby, but it's a really cool opportunity for the seniors to do a culminating activity. And it fits in with the curriculum and history at that level for them to be doing some world study. But it's also a good cross-curricular activity and a vertical one because we can have the young kids doing ornaments and all kinds of things across the school. And then we hope that it'll be a way to reach into the community as well. So we'll have more details coming about that. We're just kind of kicking it off and the kids are doing some research, but we hope it'll be a good way to draw some attention to the school and bring some people in, fold it in with our Christmas program that will be coming up too. So we're kind of excited about that. Last thing, Fall Fest. Before we get to Christmas time, will be October 28th. There's been quite a bit of information going out about that, and some people are renting booths and contributing to the silent auction. We certainly would look forward to any support from the community and our parents in getting that up and helping it be a fun Saturday. So that's October 28th.
Yeah, I've seen those on Facebook, those ads. I've been doing my fair share of sharing. Board
I did
members.
too.
Okay, good, thank you.
You liked one of them.
Thank you. Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember. There's so much to like. Great, excellent. All right, that's great. That's great.
That's it. Questions?
No, I don't have any.
No, I just think maybe the Christmas tree thing, I think that's a really great idea. I'm wondering if there is something we can get involved with the pet committee once we kind of get that up and going more. And do business sponsorships. So like a business would sponsor
Sure.
$500 for the supplies and the tree or whatever, and then get a little plaque. But then the students can use that. So you could even go beyond too.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely on our list. Looking to connect with some communities in the organization too. So if, let's say this is an example because I want to keep it a surprise for now, but we did a Italian Christmas tree to look at connecting with a group in the community that could help us, kind of learn about that a little bit and contribute to.
If you did like
What they
Greek,
know.
the Greek Orthodox Church or something.
Exactly.
Sure.
Is that like a fundraising thing, or are they gonna auction off or?
There might be, it wouldn't be, the goal wouldn't be to raise funds necessarily, more of an opportunity to bring people in and showcase that and give the kids a chance to work together. But I think there's an opportunity to do some tickets or
Yeah.
some tours, some homeschool groups and things like that.
And then obviously with the performance evaluations that we received. I know we all had the opportunity, I think, Mrs. Swenson, I'm not sure if I sent those to you. I think I did, since you, okay, so I will get those to you. Those came out just before you were appointed to the board. So I'll make sure that I get those to you, but I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Bernice Gutierrez, who took over for Andy Franco, and we had a pleasant discussion about it. There was a lot of positive things that were mentioned in that conversation, so I think that's to LTA's credit for sure in the work that is happening at LTA, so that's good, that's very good. Anything else?
No, sir.
No, nothing.
I got a question.
Please.
Ma'am. Curious, the parents are coming back to LTA. Was there some overwhelming decision, what that was based on? Or was there one or two things that stuck out that they told you?
I think experience maybe just reminded them why they initially came to LTA, and maybe just an appreciation for, you know, that with the absence of it. Yeah, just the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Okay.
Just curious.
Got it. Okay. Okay, that's good. And then financials, I know we have our financial report. Is there, Ms. Miller, you're here. Is there anything that you want to flag for us? I know we've already got our budgets adopted and so on and so forth. Is there anything
The
pressing?
original has to adopt it. We're gonna start working on the amended. And I'm gonna have a projected line item with this format with the 3-pager. And I'll have that mid-October so that you guys will be able to review. And, you know, if you have questions or anything like that, or any suggestions, then we'll make an official budget from that and do the appropriations at the next board meeting. So that will be in November.
Okay,
The other thing that I wanted to bring up was Fund 26, the building core. I was hoping to get a consensus of when you guys can get together with the investors. I think they're gonna want a phone conversation before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So I can help to coordinate that, but.
sure. Would you recommend that that conversation happen before or after, if we're gonna make amendments to our budget? Are they? Any thoughts there? Or, I mean, I see them as separate, but at the same point, I want to be sensitive to the fact that we're talking about.
The only thing I understood from Mr. Papantonio was that it's generally before Thanksgiving,
Okay.
so. But I can definitely, we can see if it can be pushed out after.
Oh, no, I'm
Or-
saying. Well, our next board meeting is gonna be early.
Don't we have another one in October?
And that's what I was wondering.
Because we have to do our parent core appointments.
No, because we moved for fall break
I thought we moved it to the last week of October.
during election. The election starts on the 23rd, runs through the 27th. And so we did move it to the 26th.
Look at the calendar. We moved it.
Would it make sense to do it then?
If that's.
That's really quick. The phone call?
Yeah,
Can I
phone
pro-
call.
Can I
No,
propose?
well, and I think it's something that you would do kind of as a,
Working session.
Yeah.
So what I would
Oh, I
propose
see.
is this.
not a board.
I
Okay.
would propose. For that, I think that what we do is we notice 2 different working sessions.
Okay.
Working session number 1 is just for the board members to get together. Because we will by that time have. Okay, so after the next meeting, when we have our new parent elected members.
Mm.
Have a working session shortly thereafter where we all can get together and we can just, because we can have a working session where we don't take any action, but we
Mhm.
just have discussion.
Right.
So we have a working session that is just review of the budget. And maybe we have X8 come. Or somebody and help us walk through the budget, so we all have a really, really good understanding, so all board members have a really good understanding, because. I think to have those new members come on board and be spun up to speed
Great
for a meeting with our investors. Is a bad decision, I think we need to have them.
Yeah.
Up to speed, I think doing that puts everybody at a disadvantage, so we can look really collective and then have that meeting in a second working session,
Okay,
that's my thought,
got it. Do we want to look at dates right now, since we're kind of having this discussion? I'm fine with that.
we can.
Okay,
And then we can propose it to the investors and then coordinate that way, but it wouldn't have to be like a board meeting like that.
No, we
So-
could just do, like, and they don't have to be super long
Yeah,
working
yeah.
sessions. So I
so
think that that's the best way to do it.
our third Thursday in November is the 16th. One of you, can you look at our school calendar just to make sure that I'm not too far astray from what we have templated?
Traveling all the time.
It is, okay, so that's, okay, so the November 16th is the next board meeting.
Mhm.
And if we need to do it before the next board meeting, and we're talking about doing a working session, we have elections the 23rd through the 26th, which will close on the 27th.
Mhm. And then we appoint, what day are we appointing, the 26th? No. When's our next?
Well, the next board meeting will be November 16th is when we will do swearing in for those two new members. We'll
I
have
thought we
that,
added a board meeting.
in November, we did not.
Oh, no, in the end of October, we did.
The October meeting, what did we move to, Mr. Manley, for the fall break? Because the fall break, originally, we were gonna do a board meeting that third Thursday in October, which would have been the 19th,
Correct,
but we had to move that because of fall break, correct?
correct.
Okay,
So we just put it on the 26th.
okay.
That's what I thought we did. Okay.
So I don't, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing a meeting the week of the election. If we still want to keep that one. Then the question becomes, do we have enough time to do? Because you want to do it after the next meeting
Mhm.
and after
After
the
our
election.
board- after our election.
So then the only opportunity would have to do another meeting sometime between,
That'd be 2 working sessions.
well, what does everyone's calendar look like? Because right now we're looking at doing a meeting on the 26th, which will be a regular board meeting. Or another regular board, that would be the 26th of October. Then we would do another regular board meeting on the 16th of November,
Mhm.
which would leave the last week of October into November. That's Halloween. That's could be problematic, maybe not. And then that week of the
Week of the
virtual
6th, I'm in
working
Chicago.
session. Okay. We
But
could
I
do it
could do
virtually.
remote.
Okay, I'm happy to do remote if we need to
Mhm.
figure this out. And you're still thinking two.
Yep, so I think we have to do one where we can get up to speed, like a working session up to speed with
Uh-huh.
X8. And then a second one for the phone call. I don't anticipate, have you been part of those phone calls in the past? So do we have any idea how long they last?
I do not, but I can get all that information for you. It just happens that our trustee is out of the country right now, so
Okay.
I'm just kind of looking at.
I'm thinking the phone call's not gonna be more than an hour.
I wouldn't think so, and that's a conference call.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe I'm optimistic about it. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
I think you're probably right.
purely guessing.
so here's the other thing, we don't have XA here to see if they'd be willing to even give us a lesson. And what dates they would be.
But we
available.
did talk to them about that for our board training, but we decided to hold off on that piece.
No, I'm talking about dates.
Oh, for
To
dates.
see if they're available. So why don't we just propose right now that we're going, based on XA
Mhm.
in coordination with Miss Miller and with Mr. Manley, that we look at the week of November 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th,
Mhm.
to try and do a meeting with XA that week,
Can we do Friday the 3rd for X8 if they're available?
if they're available.
Can
Let's
anybody
just
do
say,
daytime?
let's just say within the first 2 weeks of November.
Yeah.
That we
To get
coordinate
these
with
two things done,
XA
yeah.
and we coordinate with our bondholder to try and get that one scheduled after our XA.
And for a working session, we can invite people in, so if the election's not done, we don't have the appointments. For a working session, we can invite people in, so we can invite whoever the winners
Sure.
are into
Okay.
that conversation, working session.
Okay, so then a due out to me is I will reach out to Eric at XA to see what dates might look available. I'm gonna offer it to be a digital or a remote meeting. Once he responds with some dates, I want to circulate that to board members so that we can have mass participation, obviously. And then go from there. Once I have that date, Ms. Miller, I'll communicate that to you.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have to figure out what date we want to meet with the bondholder and what their schedule is like.
And I can do WebEx, Zoom, or Teams, like I can,
Sure,
whatever medium's easiest for everybody, I
okay,
can host.
so. Okay. But you're saying before Thanksgiving,
That's when he said it's generally,
Okay.
yeah, when generally happens.
got it. Does that sound like a reasonable way to proceed if we look at the first 2 weeks of November? Is that gonna impact anybody if we do it remote?
Just there was discussion about the Hillsdale, it's going up to Hillsdale, that's the second.
That's the 15th,
Well,
or
that's
that's,
another-
that would be the 15th.
That's the only thing I hadn't.
It's gonna be, yeah, we would
It's a lot of
need
time together, folks.
those, well, actually, no, that actually brings up a good point. What if, who is going to Hillsdale so far?
I'm about.
I'm going.
51% sure.
Okay, because maybe we find the time during the 16th or 17th. Or even the 15th, probably not the 18th, because the 18th is travel back. And if we can make it coincide,
15, 16, 17?
18th,
Wait, what days are?
15th
the
and
meetings?
18th are travel days, the days at Hillsdale or
It's
the
not
15th.
meetings, I'm in trial on the 16th.
So you're saying you can do even remote meetings
I'm in trial the 16th and
in
17th.
the evening?
And at the evening.
Yeah, so I'm saying, because I know Hillsdale has their programming the 6th and the 17th, but they're gonna free up in the evening. So maybe that's a solution so that it's not multiple events, but we're taking an opportunity to dovetail one over the other.
So we would do the meeting while we're out there.
Yeah. I think that makes
Is
sense.
going?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Okay,
And that's in October.
it's no,
November.
that's November. November 15th is a travel day, November 16th, 17th is at Hillsdale, and then the 18th is a travel day. Okay, so then let's just keep those dates kind of open. We'll circulate things, and then once we
But
lock
that
dates
also means
in,
our board meeting doesn't happen unless we do.
unless we do remote.
Yeah.
Well, if we have to, let's wait and figure out how, if it works out with X8, let's figure out how it works out with our bondholder. And then we'll make a determination if we need to cancel that 16th
Mhm.
meeting, or if we just need to figure it out. We're just gonna have to be flexible, but we'll get dates to Mr. Manley so that Mr. Manley can get those on the website. But there's just a lot going on in November that we've gotta
Well, and here's a proposal too. I mean,
address.
one of the things we could do is take December, take November, move the November board meeting to the first week of December, because nobody wants to do anything, but I think the third week is like right before Christmas, so we might have people traveling. And do one board meeting for November, December.
Good, that'll alleviate the reason to have a November 16th meeting. We're still gonna have to do the X8.
Right.
Download on financials, and then we're still gonna have to meet with the bondholders.
Right, but that just gives us a little bit more room,
Sure,
and then we're not back to back on holidays when
that's fine.
there'll probably be a holiday concert here that people will go to, and I mean, it just becomes really busy.
So
for
that
everybody.
becomes a good point. If we could look at the school calendar. What do we, is there any big lifts that first full weeks of the week of the 4th or the week of the 11th of December? And then when is winter break? When are we getting out of the building?
So, yeah, the last day of school is the 15th.
Okay.
And then we're off, obviously, till,
Yeah.
what is that, the 3rd?
What are you guys? Is anybody going out of town for the holidays in December?
Yeah, actually, Christmas Eve, so.
Okay, so Christmas Eve. So is there any objection to maybe looking at the week of the 4th or the week of the 11th to do a November, December combo meeting?
No.
No. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I'm in Arizona for the 7th.
The week of the 7th.
I'm on an airplane
What'd you say?
that night,
Really?
Oh, she's gone that first Thursday, so it'd have to be.
unless we moved it to a different.
Yeah, and I'm open to any
Thursday.
day. It doesn't have to be a Thursday. Okay. So then more to follow. Let's get X8 scheduled. Let's get the bondholders scheduled. And then we'll look at those dates. What I probably will do for that one is to do a doodle poll. Mr. Manley, I'd like to include you on that doodle poll to make sure that there's a date that works. I still think we do it in the evening. One of those 2 weeks, but so that's the second due out to me. Just to find a date that works. That's a great idea. Okay.
And then one last thing,
Yes.
financials, we did get or the audit, we did get the final report. I sent a copy to Helen, but I wanted to see, am I allowed to email them to all of you guys at the same time, or I didn't.
I
know
would
there
say
was-
if you email the best practice if you're gonna email it all at the same time, put us in the BCC. That
Okay.
prevents any way that we would hit reply all and then have an
Okay.
online meeting, but yeah, we can
I'll do
receive information as a body, we just can't
Have it all,
respond and weigh in because then it becomes an online meeting. So-
And the 3 documents that you did send me today are all uploaded in our Dropbox already.
hey, okay, so then I don't have to worry.
You don't have to,
Okay.
yeah, so everybody, the final audit report is in the Dropbox.
So.
Under
um,
today's board docs, because I didn't know if we were gonna be discussing it.
And so Tom Sistars is still planning on having that discussion as far as the audit goes, so do you want that in the?
I think we should actually make that part of one of the.
Can you do that on the 6th?
Maybe, I mean, we can ask him.
So you can do it 26th,
October 26th?
because in November, December, we're gonna have to do principal.
The other alternative is if we're gonna do 2 working sessions, we look at the working session where X8 is here.
Yeah.
To do that.
We'll
Let's-
coordinate with you.
I think that's gonna be easier if we try and do audit and X8 in a working session together. So let me get with X8.
Okay.
And lock that date in, and then whatever that date is, let's,
You'll let me know.
yes.
That sounds great.
And let them know, since we're looking at our working sessions as remote. That's likely would be, so that might free up, make them more available. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the remote would have screen share capabilities, so they can like
Yeah.
go through it.
Okay.
All right. Anything else under item number 9?
No, that's 8.
I'm sorry, 8. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item number 9. So at this point, we have 3 candidates and all 3 are here, Mr. Will Stroh, Mrs. Stephanie Russell and Mr. Andy Stuckwich. So I think at this point, what we can do is, and this one's not working, correct? So we're still, okay. So what I propose is, let's take about a 60-second, let's take 5 minutes. If anyone needs to use the restrooms or whatever, make sure you guys have quick access to here. We'll have a timer. Raymond, would you keep time once we get going? I'll flip that camera around and then we can get going. And then Mr. Manley, if you want to clear out, does that work?
Yeah.
Sound good? All right, let's take a brief recess and then we'll reconvene here in a minute.
We all be play on the playground. Here's a one.
right, we're back.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna call us back to order. And Mr. Stroh, you are first. Mrs. Revord, if you will take time for 5 minutes, and then probably a good idea to give let's do a 1-minute warning. Does that work?
You won't need it, but sure.
Can you do a 1-minute warning?
I want to speak my California fast here.
Okay, very good. If you'll
In and
take,
out.
if you'll take the hot seat.
Yes.
We
Of course,
appreciate
here
it.
too. Wake you all up.
That's it. And then whenever you start, we'll start the timer and then we will be off to the races.
All right. You good over there? Sweet. Good evening, War Eagles. When they informed me yesterday that we're giving presentations tonight, I had half of mine just to do a roast of Chairman Geithner,
Thanks.
and perhaps we can do that at the Fall Festival. So if someone can ask Miss White to pencil that in for us, that'd be great. Now, I have not always been this charming, sharp-dressed man before you. I grew up about 20 minutes down the road from here on a little farm outside of Elbert. I got into computers at a young age, and that furthered with my undergrad and master's degree from Colorado State University, also known as the Colorado school that does not have Deion Sanders. Which brings me to where I'm at in life now. I'm an engineer for a data storage company based out of Washington State. And over the span of my career, I've learned two very important things: passion and communication. Now, I talk to people constantly at my job day in day. We joke that customers don't reach out to us when things are going well. And so you really have to enjoy helping people out and have a passion for it, if you will. And with that, you embrace both parts, the good and the bad, sharing with your customers victories and making tough decisions when you know things aren't going to work out for them and you have to stick to your guns with that, doing the hard right thing, as we like to say. Now, with those tough decisions comes communication, and communication is what brings us all here tonight. Mistakes were made in the past and we have to move past them. One of the goals of this board should be transparency and communication with everyone in this room, as we owe it to everyone here tonight, everyone at home, everyone at work or otherwise unable to make it here. We as a board can do better. Now, passion is what this school is all about: a passion for learning, a passion for teaching, a passion for bettering our children so that they are ready to enter the world. And I'd ask everyone behind me, what are you passionate about? It's a simple question, but it's something that you guys are all going to have to figure out on your own. And I challenge everyone to do it here tonight. Now, I would hazard a guess they wouldn't be here if we weren't passionate about our kids. And as such, as a board, it's our job to make this school not only the best we can, but the best it can be for our kids. With that, I would say entrust in me, and I'll return that trust. And lastly, I'll close with introduction. My name is Will Stroh, and I'm passionate about Liberty Tree Elementary, or Liberty Tree Academy, forgive me. My first-year-old is coming out there. Thank you, and don't forget to unhook your hoses tonight, as Miss Janet has told us all. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stroh. I appreciate that. And good tip on the hoses. I guess we're getting down to
Is it getting cold tonight?
some colder
Getting cold tonight.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, sure.
Got it. Okay. All right. And
Don't do it today.
no, tomorrow.
Well,
Gotcha.
basements all over Falcon. Text my husband right now.
And then Mrs. Russell, whenever you're ready, we'll start the timer. And then if you need the minute warning, Mrs. Reward will give you a little wave or something to let you know that you're at about a minute left.
Sounds good, thank you. My name is Stephanie Russell. I am the mother of two daughters that attend LTA. We have been with the community for the past 5 years. I have a second grader and a fourth grader here. When I think about why I want to run for the board, what it comes down to is my family and how I want to ingrain in them and instill in them the morals, the virtues, and the values that LTA represents. When I think about their education, when I think about their time as young children, so much of their time is spent at school. And what I want to do by being on the board is making sure that I'm ensuring that the principles and morals that we're teaching here are what align with my family. When our oldest daughter was 3 months old, we are local to the Falcon area. I was born and raised about an hour south of here in Penrose. We moved to Falcon about 12 years ago now. Our oldest daughter is 9. When she was born, we heard that in the community, it's difficult to get into a good school. So we put her on a wait list for another charter school here in the area. Did a tour, didn't feel quite right. Walking around the neighborhood, we saw signs going up for LTA, immediately began doing investigation, went to one of the board meetings when we were at the church down off Woodman, went to one of the board meetings and something clicked. It felt right. They talked about virtues and morals and what the foundation of the principles was built upon. And we decided then and there, this is where we want our child. We want to be at this school. The past year, the school went through some significant challenges and the integrity and foundational principles of our school were threatened. I am running for the board because my values and my virtues, I feel like, closely align with the schools. By background, I am an emergency room nurse. I went to school for nursing when right out of college, went into the ER. That is my background. I spent about 12 years in the ER. And since then, I've worked up to an executive leadership position. Currently, I am the director for the neuroscience division of Memorial UC Health for the Southern region of Colorado. So I serve very closely with our community. I work with our physicians. I work with developing programs, strategic risk management, budget management. But with my foundation of being in the ER, I feel like I can very closely relate to teachers. Healthcare and education goes very, very closely together. My background in mental health education, my background in dealing with working shortages, staff on strike, budget management, I feel like closely aligns with the school and some of the needs of the school currently. In healthcare, our motto is to put patient-centered care first, put the patient first. If we can transcribe that to our school, which I think that we currently do well, is put the child first. If you focus everything around the child and the students and the teachers, we will be successful and we will help drive the school to success. As a board member, I feel like it is our job to set a vision for the school and give the staff the tools that they need to accomplish that vision. As a leader currently, you aren't successful unless you give your staff the tools that they need. I can set goals, I can set strategic plans for the department, but if I don't give them goals or if I don't give them the tools that they need to be successful, they won't be successful. It's my job as a leader to make sure that we're putting in the hands of the teachers what they need to be successful. As a healthcare executive, I talked a little bit about this, but I have experience in strategic management, growth and development, risk mitigation, budget management, and community needs assessments. Being a bedside nurse, the thing that I have learned and the thing that has taught me to be an effective leader, something that you mentioned is communication. You must have explicit communication skills and be a good listener to hear what the school needs, to hear what our teachers need, to hear what our community needs, to hear what our school needs, and translate that back and determine what we need to do to be effective leaders in this community. My experience has ingrained in me the values of evidence-based decision-making. In a world that is constantly is evolving, it is crucial that our school board makes informed decisions based on the best available data and research. This approach helps in adapting to continue changing educational needs and in optimizing the allocation of resources. What I can offer you is a passion for this school, a passion and commitment to the values that underpin our school. I'm eager to contribute to the board and work collaboratively to ensure that our school provides the best possible education for our children. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and last but not least, Mr. Andy Sutcliffe.
It is warmer up here.
It's not hot seat.
Man.
It's not hot.
All right, ready? All right. Well, I'd like to welcome all the parents online, everybody that's here to this board meeting. I thank you guys for taking the time, you 5 on the board, out of your busy schedules to be here to hold this school near and dear and to look not only right now, but to the future of LTA. And I'm excited to help do that. I want to run for the board because when my wife and I were looking to go from homeschooling to some sort of a public school, we knew that we needed something different. We looked for LTA or looked around, found LTA, and we're extremely excited. So far, we have 3 of our 4 children who are at LTA. The 4th will be coming next year, Lord willing, and she's going to be a handful, but she's great. So far, we have 2 boys in upper school, and then our first daughter in lower school. So it's so cool to see how they've grown in LTA. This school has done great things for my children. It will continue to do great things for my children. I'm a Christian. I hold that as the foundation of everything that I do. That's how I see the world. That's how I raise my children. That's how I love my wife. We've been married for 16 years, and she's a huge help to me. I wouldn't be here without her. She pushes me to do the things that are necessary. I have to be honest, I wasn't looking to do this at first. When I heard that the bylaws were changing and that there were going to be 2 elected seats, I had a list of other people to do it. I had a list of great candidates, and the more I thought about it, the more I prayed about it, I feel a calling to give this a try. I'm going to take it as far as the Lord opens that door for me, and when it's closed, then the best people are going to be here at this school. I've been a dedicated employee at my current employer for 11 years now. I've worked from the lowest position, and so far I've been able to become the service manager, working directly under the owner of the company. With that experience, I've been the one that has done the tasks that nobody else wants to do. I've now seen the other side of it, and am now able to delegate those tasks, knowing what we're asking our people to do. One thing that's extremely important to me is to regain the Hillsdale connection. I think that right now with the curriculum, that's a great place to be, but I want to grow that connection. I know that for my family, it was a huge decision in choosing LTA, and I know I've heard from a lot of other families that that's the same. I want to continue the excellence that we have in our academics. We talked briefly about the testing scores, and every time I hear LTA mentioned, it's always, we are above what we're needing to be. We are leading, not following. We're not scrambling. We're showing other places the way to go. The teachers are so important to that, and teacher retention, hearing what our teachers are wanting and needing and doing as much as we can to facilitate that is extremely important. Without the teachers, there's no students, and these walls are not decorated the way that they are. They're just bland, and there is no LTA. I'm excited for the athletics. I know for me personally, athletics got me through high school. It was a huge portion of my learning in my youth, and with Mr. Markle, the sky's the limit. I'm really excited to grow our current sports, and every time I talk to him, it's, hey, we're looking to do this, we're looking to do that, and I want to give him what he needs to continue that. So lastly, the culture of LTA. Our mission and vision are near perfect. I do not want to drift from that. I don't want fads to come and cause us to go astray. So I'm here for the current mission and current vision of Liberty Tree Academy. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Condition and role. We're going to miss
What?
discussion.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, for dates. Absolutely. Okay. So let's move on to item number 10, which is board discussion. And
I'll take the first one.
yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
So A is the board handbook status. There is a draft handbook. Thank you.
I asked you, I
probably should have done a recess, Manley.
but. You'll just put it, if you put it back towards that chair, that's even better. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so we have a rough draft of a new board handbook with our attorney. Hopefully we will have those revisions back, which includes a lot of the things that we learned about in training. As far as duties and conflicts and all that, so hopefully. That will be done by the next meeting.
All right, we're on to item number B, which is online election platform. I sent a link out to the board members. There's a entity out there called Election Buddy. Election Buddy is what Monument Academy uses, which is another charter school, obviously, in the area. They seem to have found it to be very useful when they do their board elections, which they do board elections specifically. So that was the other piece I was looking for, was not just what are other schools using, but what are they using for board elections? And then the other piece too is that they're K through 12, which makes life very similar, apples to apples. So Election Buddy is what is the only platform that I'm recommending. Obviously, this is your show.
That's what was in
Because-
the posting for the. That's
what?
that when we sent out the.
Oh, was it in there?
Yeah,
Okay,
it said
great.
we
So
were
we're
using
good.
election.
Okay,
Yeah, I thought
perfect.
we discussed that last meeting.
Well, what I want to do though is we got to figure
It's
out.
$99.
Is it? Okay. So costs, we just have to have everything set up, which is going to involve Mr. Manley and making sure that we have good email addresses for households.
Cause I think it's a CSV file that you like import,
Correct.
but you
But
should be
it's-
able to get a CSV, I would think, from Power School.
So what may need to happen though, in order to make this successful, so that on the 23rd, when people immediately are supposed to have access to their ballot, is that you guys and Election Buddy and whatever else are well coordinated. So that people can open up ballots effectively the 23rd. The biggest disadvantage I think that we can offer our parent community is that they're not there. They didn't get them. So I don't know if I've reached out to Election Buddy just to ask some generic questions that we're gonna have to like figure that piece out. So it's really buttoned up. So see what I have there. And any one of us can help to make sure, obviously, if they're traveling, but I just want to make sure.
Actually, in
that
town the next 2 weeks. Yes.
That's excellent. Okay, great, good. Okay, perfect. And then for subcommittee assignments, let's move on to that one really quick. Do you want to kick us off in
Yes.
terms of the subcommittees that we have, and then?
Well, and then I was thinking about this and I thought, well, we need to do this. But then we're gonna have the 2 parent
Mhm.
elected boards. So maybe what we do today is identify what committees we need.
Okay,
And get us appointed on some of them. So, and then leave some holes. So, the committees that I think so these would be subcommittees of the board.
Mhm.
So we can divvy up the work a little bit. And also to have points of contact for Mr. Manley and the APs or whoever to go to if there is an issue, but then make those committees 2 members. I think we can go up to 3
Mhm.
once we add our parent.
well, we're gonna need odd numbers, don't we? No, I guess we don't.
No,
They're
because
just information.
yeah, these are just like, yeah, you're not taking action, right? It's just kind of like information. So we can add a 3rd because you can't, under the open, sunshine law. We can only have 2 right now. I think once our board grows, we can probably have 3.
Okay.
So I think that we need a curriculum committee. So that would be the one that like monitors curriculum. Fidelity to the curriculum. Makes recommendations of what curriculum to be approved by the board. Governance. That's gonna be monitoring charter contract and all of our bylaws, make sure that we're adhering to that stuff. SAC, which is the, statutorily required. Parent engagement team or committee, PEC, what do we call it, PEC or PEC?
Parent engagement.
Committee,
I know.
Okay.
okay,
I was gonna- so-
okay, PEC, sorry, I think I keep screwing that up. Finance. So Ms. Miller has somewhere to go. Building for those painting and things that come up or the roof is leaking.
So not building core, but a building committee.
Yeah, just a building committee, safety,
Security.
safety.
Yeah.
And then we could probably have an HR subcommittee. And then a committee for that already established for new board members.
Ah, gotcha.
You know what I mean? That would be the person that would vet the new board members.
Mhm.
So some of these are gonna be very active throughout the year and some are gonna be active occasionally. But those are the ones that I came up with as a list. I don't know. Does anybody have anything to add?
I have a question. What would HR committee do? What would its role be?
Maybe that'd be the same as governance.
Okay,
HR and governance, I guess, could go together.
We should probably establish a job duties for each committee.
But yeah, I think we'll have to do job duties for each committee or, you know, kind of like this is the authority that they have. But
sure.
if we can start like with some structure to it, I think we can get to that as part of our strategic plan and everything.
For the building committee,
So I put in the Dropbox, I kind of had a spreadsheet and I kind of started. I put the members that have been here, so not you, Kristen, in kind of the roles that felt like the buckets that we were all kind of filling already. So for example, I preliminarily, this is not set in stone, this is obviously open for discussion, but I put Mike in security. You and I, Tim, tend to do a lot of the governance, so I had us on that. Raylene, we'd already talked, you doing PEC and SAC. And finance, obviously, Mike, you're the treasurer, so that made sense, and then Tim, but it doesn't have to be,
sure.
I don't know, I'm not married to any of this.
For security, Kirsten, I would look to you to
Mhm,
join
mhm.
Mike.
Okay,
I think your background is perfect for that. So that would be one recommendation that I would have
mhm.
for,
Building.
yeah, building and facility. So, because we have our building corp,
Mhm.
which that's structured as part of our financial obligations, fiduciary responsibilities. What if we, just so that there's less confusion, what if we call, if we need one, why don't we call this one facility committee? Or facility subcommittee? And that way it won't get confused with the
Yeah.
building corp. Makes
That's
sense?
fine.
Okay. And then for that one totally makes sense. Like there's a roof repair that's huge, or the gym, or whatever that we need to get board members in. That's fine. Anybody want to volunteer for facility items? Okay, very good. So Kirsten. Anybody else? Okay, and Mike, very good. That works. Which actually that goes well.
Yeah.
Because if it's security and facility and we
Oh,
need to
yeah.
do some things, that actually really works out incredibly well. Okay, perfect. So that takes care of those two. If we're gonna move HR to governance,
Mhm.
so then you just have that is.
Board member, yeah,
Okay, that's fine. So that takes care of HR and governance.
board member.
Board member search.
I mean, obviously, all board members serve.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, but
yeah.
this would be like those initial
Well-
vetting meetings. I think, Mike, we had you serving on that for a while, but now you're already on 3 committees. That seems like a lot to make you do.
I would say yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm fine to be a part of board search.
Okay,
I think that's great. And then if anybody else wants to join me.
and we can leave, I think we only need to have one of us right now
Sure.
filling these
Okay,
lanes, and then we can add,
got it.
right?
Uh-huh.
Curriculum. I'm fine doing that.
Okay,
I mean, I was part of writing the charter.
okay.
But that was a long time ago. I don't have to be dangerous, I think.
Yeah. I'll join you on curriculum
Okay.
unless somebody else wants curriculum.
Anybody have heard it, like,
I mean, yeah, I think it was.
Okay, so Raylene then. How
okay,
about you two?
us too,
Does that work? Yeah,
okay.
that works. Okay, so
Maybe we
that's,
can always balance, I mean, we still have open discussions and stuff, right? This is just gonna be like if there's a question or whatever. So,
Right.
okay, so I think that's all we need for
and
right
that's
now.
everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's every committee that
Mhm.
you mentioned.
Mhm.
Finance, what do we do with finance? We didn't
Tim
do
and
it.
Mike.
That's right. Okay. Thank you. I wouldn't have shown up. Okay. All right, that's good. Can you put that in the spreadsheet and make that more formal?
Make it more pretty.
Yeah, because we'll lose sight
I
of it.
can't right now because my computer's over there.
Okay, and then let's move on to D, which is the idea of a candidate meet and greet dates and candidates, I'm gonna want to hear from you guys as well. If I could look to you, Mr. Manley, though, to kind of lead us, what would some good nights be? We have,
And I mean, is it better to do a weekend or a school night? I think it makes
I'd
sense
look
to
to.
do. Yeah, I mean, my thought is a school night because weekends people take off or start running kids around and that makes it difficult, but I don't know.
Hold on, I'm trying to open up my calendar. Okay. So we have 2 full weeks.
But there's fall break.
There is. So let's prioritize, let's take it 1 week at a time. Let's look at the week of the ninth.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking? You guys do your work schedules. If we need to do weekends, we can do weekends. But I'd like to try and work within your guys' schedules to make sure that.
I could start by proposing the 12th.
Okay. Evening, obviously, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Manley, how does the evening of the 12th look? And I think just the lobby. Do you guys think you need more space than just the lobby? I figure that might be easy for folks to,
The parents would fill it out, but I think that would be enough.
okay,
I mean, if we're all using the lobby, I think we're gonna be okay. I mean, we could check the sports schedule, but kind of the other end of the building, but I think it would.
Worst comes worse, they could use up here as well, or whatever.
More about the parking lot at that point.
Yeah.
There's a sports.
And you guys can craft this however you want. Usually when I see like meet and greets, the idea is it's very fluid. Like you're not necessarily doing presentations so much as you're in one place to meet folks that may have a question or
Want to know who you are. or
whatever, right? So you're multiple conversations. So I don't see a need for chairs because you're not doing anything formal in that regard. I don't see a need for audio visual. I don't, unless you want audio visual, and then maybe we need to look for a different space, but I mean, ultimately,
I think it's just a good face to face.
yeah,
This is who I am and meet and greet.
okay,
Ask me your questions.
got it. So the evening of.
Chair, a smoking jacket, and pipes.
I was thinking you wanted a microphone to roast people, but. Well, works for me.
So the evening of the 12th,
Okay.
do we want to look to additional dates?
I cannot do the 16th or 17th.
Okay, and then how does that work with fall break in our building, Mr. Manley?
I can't do that week at all.
You can't do that, we can,
I'm
They all have vacations. It's fall break.
you don't have, and you
It's
can't,
our first one ever.
you couldn't do that week either.
I could do early in the week, but I don't think that everyone else. can.
Got it, okay.
Um,
Do we want to look to another date besides the 12th
It seems like
in
it
the
works
same
whatever.
week of the 12th?
13th is fine, that's Friday the 13th, so.
We have a game here.
That actually could work well. If you have parents coming in for a game, they could break free potentially, and they could spend some time with you guys.
How about the idea of, depending on how the 12th goes, if there's another date during the balloting week? Would that work sometime 23rd to the 27th?
That's actually not a bad idea.
I don't have a
It's
problem
like
with
at the forefront for them.
that. Yeah, I'm
Might
fine with that.
remind people.
Right. So what looks good that week, anytime the 23rd to the 27th?
I'm good all those dates.
It'd be nice.
23rd, we have some parties. 23rd, there is a game here too. So
Okay.
that's another opportunity.
I think earlier in the week would be better.
Right, Monday or Tuesday, I would say.
Okay. Do you want to do the 25th as well? Just, and I'm not trying to overload your schedule. I'm just trying to think if there's parents in the building. And you can build some synergy there. I mean,
No, the 23rd. 23rd is a Monday.
yeah, oh, you did say the 25th is a game?
23rd.
Oh, the 23rd, okay.
So
all
that
right,
would
so then
have
the
probably
23rd.
work out really
Okay,
well.
sorry, I misheard. I thought you said the 25th. So 12th and the 23rd. Both evening,
I can be here as early as 5.
okay?
Anybody have any time constraints? Five?
5 is fine, I would ask you not too late. As my first grader is waiting for me to come home right now.
No, I think that's fair. I don't think most parents are gonna wanna, so what time frame sounds, obviously, we don't wanna interfere with student pickup and car queuing. What else?
Game starting at.
On the 23rd, the game starts at 5 and probably end about 8. But I mean,
I mean, if you could do a.
I'm gonna do a volleyball game.
How early can you come, Andy?
If I needed to, I could ask about taking work off early and kind of more than that. No, it's.
I mean, if we could do like a 4:30. Then you can get people as they go into the game,
That's what
I
I was
like
thinking.
that.
and
Okay.
then, if
Yeah.
if someone wants to hang out till late, great, but.
I would just do like 4:30 to 6:30,
Yeah.
because if there's a game,
Yeah.
people are gonna divert.
Then we can get some dinner at. Time.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah, so 4:30 to 6:30 on the 23rd.
Okay, and then what about the 12th?
I'll look to you guys.
What comes the game on the 12th, there's no.
There is no game.
What was the other date that had a game that you had
The
mentioned?
13th.
But that's not
Friday.
gonna work does that work for anybody or no? And if the 12th is better, then the 12th it is, but
So the
It
third,
would be better for me, but if it has to be the 13th, I think I can make that work as well.
I think the issue with the 13th is that's the Friday
Yeah.
of fall break.
We got a lot.
So if you have people who are leaving town,
Yeah, that's.
they're probably already taken out.
so 13th, you're good with that, Andy?
Okay.
No, the 12th.
Oh, 12th, okay, sorry, 12th. It is the 12th, there is no game the 12th.
Well, no,
Got
I
it.
think after they do have parent teacher conferences on Monday.
Oh, they
Okay.
do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so then what time on the 12th? Do we want to do same time, 4:30 to 6:30, or is that a problem?
Well, here's, so maybe move that one to 5 to 7.
I would appreciate that.
5 to 7?
I think board members can be here.
If, yeah, I don't see any, well, the problem, if we do board members, we'd have to coordinate ourselves to make sure that we don't have more than.
Not for me, right?
I'm not sure about business, are we?
Dustin would probably disagree.
No, we're not talking business. We
Okay.
can-
I was saying
Okay. What's that?
I was taking notes.
Okay, all right. I probably will not be
I
here
will
for
not bring
either
up
of those.
business.
I will probably not be here for either of those.
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
So Monday one I can,
What's that?
the Monday one I
Yeah.
will
The 12th?
not be available, Monday, Monday the 23rd. I can't come,
Okay.
but I can come the 12th.
Okay, so then if we're good with dates and we're good with times, can we make sure, Mr. Manley, that that's part of our newsletter? And probably make that a top piece. And drill in some emphasis on the fact that we're gonna have elections starting the 23rd.
And when you do it, maybe put their bios in again.
Yeah. And then I would just kind of keep that standard, because you're gonna have a newsletter that's gonna go out this coming Monday. How many newsletters between now and? Well, I guess every newsletter between now and when the ballots close.
So we might not do it on the 16th, but we could if we want to make sure we keep pushing that.
If we can do it on the 16th, maybe it's set up and it's automatic and it just goes out, then no one has to hit a button. Could we do that?
We might do that next. Well, yeah.
We'll
We'll work on that.
work on it.
Okay. Gotcha. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Does that sound good to everybody? Any other final thoughts on the meet and greet concept? No? Okay, very good. All right. Let's
Public comment.
move on to item number 11, which is public comments. Let me go ahead and read this blurb, and then we'll see if we have anybody that wants to render any public comment. We appreciate and welcome comments on Liberty Tree Academy school operations and programs as part of our public comment. We ask that your comments be made in a respectful and orderly manner. Follow-up action items may be assigned to the appropriate board or staff member, depending upon the nature of the comments. During public comment, the board member may choose not to respond to any comment made in public session. In accordance with board policy, public participation is limited to 3 minutes per person. Thank you for participating in our public comment forum. Do we have any individuals that would like to render public comment? No? Yes?
I thought you were saying something, should you saying something?
Oh.
No.
Go ahead.
Do you want to?
I just wanted to, yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Do you want, if you're gonna need 3 minutes, we're gonna have Raylene, just so that we're keeping time.
I love this challenge.
Okay.
For those who don't know me, I am Janet McMonigal, and I'm here pretty much wanted to go through the candidates and hear them, so thank you guys for stepping up for that. Want to thank Mr. Manley for a excellent job and being, very communicating back and forth. He is amazing with that. Wanted to say thank you to all of you guys and turning the ship around. I know it's been a challenge for you. One small suggestion, because you know, we have to have one, is the difference between D49 and D20 is the publicity. Okay, the difference between what we're getting right now in some of the other charter schools is publicity. And I feel like, even though it's it's an evil, it is an evil, it is a necessary evil. We need someone to really get on the community pages and promoting the school and promoting the events. Chanel does a great job, but she promotes so much that people are starting to get blind to her. So when something is manufactured in here, someone within here really needs to go one step past the Liberty Tree Facebook page. Hit my page up, okay, the Falcon Community Events page, because you guys are not going to get the garbage on it. But you got 7,000 people on that page, and you need to be reaching more people through social media. So I just want to keep that in your mind, because I know you seem not to like the parent page, but it is a necessary evil. If you keep it positive and you keep it cheerleading and you keep the name out there, we're going to drive more people, more excitement, and more help from the community here.
Can you give us a list of these like other
Oh, yeah.
pages?
Time for all that.
But anyways, basically, thank you all. And I just wanted to give you more information on reaching more of the community.
If we're to rely on even your page, is it best to? Do you want something sent to you in an email that you can post? Can
Yeah,
you
you can
grab
post
it
it
from
on my
our page, or can we post directly on your
You
page?
post directly.
Okay,
I'm happy to post whatever you guys need, and I do that. But I've had people complaining about a certain community member who is over posting. And I think fresh information from a fresh name on a fresh post will grab people's, attention.
Do you have monitors for that page?
Me.
Oh, you, okay.
And like 3 other people. But we all, the big pages, we all work together on.
Okay.
All 3 of us that run the big community pagers communicate all the time.
So if you're meant for.
Question.
no, that's. I guess I didn't realize that we could go on that page and post directly, so that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, I know, right? All right.
We could even do some sort of a campaign. For like parents and stuff. You know, if you share this post. To a page or whatever, you're entered into a Amazon gift card.
I think Janet's very good with drawings and,
It works.
sure, I appreciate that, Janet. Thank you. All right, let's move on to action items. We have an oath of office. In order for the oath to be given by whoever that's going to be, we just need to appoint someone to execute that. So unless someone has, I have a copy of the oath that whoever is appointed can render to Ms. Swenson. And I just want to know from the board, does anybody, I'm happy to do it.
Appoint Tim to administer the oath.
Right. Very good. Is there any objection? Okay, and then what we'll do is, Kirsten, we can do, if you want to read it, just so that you're not going into a blind, just circle which one, but there's the ever living God, there's swear, or there's affirm. So you have your options of which one, whichever one you circle is the one.
How about swell?
Okay, very good.
I do that a lot anyway.
Okay, very good. If you could stand and raise your right hand. And then I will try and give it to you in segments. So that it's not
Please.
broken. Okay. I state your name,
I, Kirsten Swenson,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the laws of the state of Colorado,
and the laws of the state of Colorado,
and will faithfully perform the duties of the office
and will faithfully perform the duties of the office
of Director of Liberty Tree Academy,
as Director of Liberty Tree Academy,
upon which
upon which
I am about to enter
I'm about to enter
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my ability.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks for serving. And then we're gonna have to do some paperwork, which I'll get you with. I'll get this with Dustin, and he's probably gonna do a digital DocuSign
Okay,
because there's new legislation, so each one of us has to have one signed, so I'll make sure that Dustin gets that taken care of. All right, that brings us up to executive session. We have a couple of items under executive session. If I could have a motion to move into executive session, please.
Make a motion to move to executive session.
second,
Very good. Is there any objection to moving to executive session? Seeing no objections, at this point, we will break into executive session. I think I'll leave this one on just so that we know that those that might be listening that we're in executive session, so I won't go to recess. We're gonna meet in the classroom across the hall. Let's take no more than 5 minutes. I've got to get Dustin on the phone. So we need to use the restroom or what have you, but we'll link up over there. And I don't know, Mr. Manley, is that room open? Or Mrs. Moore, do we look at that classroom is unlocked? I can open it.
Keep that in power.
Very good. All right, so it's 5 minutes and we'll meet over there.
Effectively started to steal all their papers.
That works. This can stay. I'm good.
It's
I'll make it.
it's a big chart.
I will, so I'm gonna record. If you'll, yeah, I've got 74%. I'll read. But if you'll call, let me send him a text.
Have a good night, Mr. Brandon. Thank you.
likewise.
I'm gonna head out into her home, but thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
All right, we are all back. What brings us to item number 14, which is announcements. I think the only announcement that I have that I will provide, which was discussed at length, is two parent meet and greets, one on October 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the lobby of LTA. The next on October 23rd from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then ballots should also be made available. One vote per household, according to our bylaws, effective the 23rd. And Ms. Helen, thank you for leading us on that effort. That's the only announcement I have. Any other announcements? All right, that takes care of our announcements. Final, if I could have a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second, very good. Any opposition? We are adjourned. Thank you all.
It's my name for this.
It's a gift.
I'll buy you.
Nice.
Across the
If you will.
Give your numbers on. Students that
Want your notebook back?
I don't have a problem with.
Take your pages.